This is Havoc gameplay chat. This is not leaked or anything. This is public info.
Act 1 to Act 3 footage from the November press event. During this introduction, I'll be reviewing my playthrough, discussing build progression, fast-free routing, WASD versus click to move, and other interesting gameplay details, including with a question and answer section. It's important to note that while I'll be discussing my experience, this is not a guide, and any progression details shared are solely to provide context into various insights.
Not a guide. Remember that, chat. Ziggy, just like Ziggy D's one, wasn't a guide.
It's worth repeating, the early access version may differ significantly from the press version I played. So with that out of the way, loading into the riverbanks. The first skill provided was fragmentation rounds, a single-use shotgun-like skill that pierces the first two targets it hits, generally doing more damage in close range, and not so much from afar. However, what caught my eye was Explosive Grenade, an area of effect fire explosion skill, with a 3-second cooldown, 3 uses, and a 2.5-second fuse duration, giving it the potential for a clear while moving playstyle. Yet similar to other runs, with just the starting weapon, no extra source of flat damage on gear, attack-based builds can generally feel weak, which meant the next step was to farm some gold, to either gamble, or in this case, purchase and craft a new weapon. And this weapon in particular increased my damage by around 70%, providing a noticeable improvement in trash clear. Still, if your character level is equal to the zone level, bosses in Path of Exile 2 can be quite tanky. For example, as a level 5 character in a level 5 zone, the Rust King took around 1 minute 33 seconds to kill. Whereas again as the level 5 character in a level 3 zone, the Devourer took only 40 seconds to be defeated. Which leads me to the following takeaway, to how to stay true for the whole playthrough. You can attempt to speed up the progression, killing only a few mobs in each zone, slowly defeating bosses with well-planned combos and timely dodge rolls. Or, you can full clear zones, going out of the way to kill extra monsters, which on average should result in a higher level character, better gear, faster boss kills, and overall similar progression time.
Yeah.
If you're looking
That's what I'm gonna do, bro. I'm gonna be over leveling, over gearing hard as fuck. You goddamn know. That is what you're supposed to do in RPGs, bro. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get sick gear, sick level, sick items, and then pop off.
For launch, I would recommend the latter. Especially since many side bosses and side quests provide impactful character buffs. Moving forward to the graveyard, we had 3 new build additions: Flash Grenade, Multiple Projectiles, Double Barrel Support. Flash Grenade is another cooldown-based grenade and serves 2 purposes. The first being to stun swarming enemies, allowing you to play aggressively, and secondly, to create DPS windows by staggering bosses. Multiple Projectile Support was of course linked to Explosive Grenade, and for the most part, enabled the clear while moving playstyle I desired. And lastly, Double Barrel Support was linked to Fragmentation Shot, increasing the ammo count from 1 to 2, the downside of 30% less reload speed, which was worth it, clear off stragglers more efficiently, and to conserve Explosive Grenade charges. In terms of feeling, I would say once I had this setup, Mercenary started to feel good, most likely because I had tools to deal with swarming enemies and also had enough AoE coverage to clear somewhat quickly. In terms of Act 1 difficulty, it was mostly smooth sailing, with only 3 deaths. The first occurring to Draven, where I failed to roll out.
Bro, only 3 deaths? Wait, Havoc's a god gamer, bro. Oh no, bro. Only 3 deaths, dude. Oh man, I'm gonna need to overlevel over gear hard as fuck, bro. What?
Slashes. The next 2 taking place in the Iron Manor, both being situations where I got surrounded and tried to spam dodge roll to no avail. Other than boss fights or hard-hitting ranged monsters, getting
bro, is that what my death's gonna look like? Is this just rolling and then dying?
How you might die. So for those that are thinking about playing hardcore, I believe you could actually pull it off, given that you gear well, level above the zone level, and are tracking your mob controlling cooldowns. Now traveling forward, the next major skill acquisition was Rapid Shot, a rapid firing skill that heats up your crossbow as you attack.
Look at that chain.
Buffing grenades, providing 6% of damage as extra fire damage per heat stack. So as you can imagine, the combo is to stagger bosses and stack heat with rapid fire before throwing explosive grenades. The strategy was generally effective at chunking bosses, if I could find a window to build stacks. An opportunity that wasn't always available, either due to boss AI or lack of character defense. Now, other than stacking life and equipping armor gear for physical damage mitigation, the biggest defensive lever was dynamically changing resist gear depending on the zone. This point is worth noting because in Acts 1 and 2, item resist affixes are generally quite low, which in combination with a minus 10% resist penalty per act can make capping resist difficult. The solution at the time was to hot swap charms and resist rings, and on launch to also consider resist ruins.
Oh my god, bro. Wait, what? That sounds a bit annoying. That sounds a bit annoying, bro. Gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. That sounds a bit annoying. Switching. I'm not gonna do that. Because I mean, how you're gonna have to know what the boss is. How you gonna know which boss does what, bro? Like how you gonna know which boss does what?
Skipping ahead to Act 3, we have 2 final skill additions: Explosive Shot and Oil Grenade. Explosive Shot is a detonator skill, which triggers any active grenades in its explosion radius. However, it requires multiple projectile support to be effective, meaning we'd have to remove it from Explosive Grenade, since in Path of Exile 2, you can only use a single copy of any support gem.
Yeah.
So to maintain Explosive Grenade coverage, I passed through cluster bombs on the passage tree and exchanged my level 26 crossbow for this magic crossbow with the grenades.
What do you got here? What do you got? Grenade skills fire an additional projectile. Damn, that implicit is insane. What? Holy. Chat, okay, all you guys saying guide Quin69. I am not launching a ranged DPS character, very likely. I'm playing melee. So, yeah. I'm not gonna be playing Merc as my first character. Like I'm not. I'm gonna be going melee. Yes, I don't get the switching crossbows or whatever. I'm okay. I plan on not going mercenary, and I plan on not switching rings and shit. Now, switching charms, okay, fair enough. Like, yeah, depending on what's going on, yeah, okay, fair enough. You only get one charm slot. That's gonna be reasonable to hold.
Fire an additional projectile implicit. Despite lowering my tooltip DPS, the extra projectile was worth it. Oil Grenade, on the other hand, was a bonus addition to the build, offering 3 benefits: slowing enemies down, lowering fire resistance by 20%, and creating Burning Ground if ignited by fire explosion. The Burning Ground wasn't too impressive, but the slow and fire exposure were much appreciated. In this playtest, this is where my build concluded, and to summarize my mercenary experience, it was fun, and it just kept getting better and better, especially so with the addition of each new interesting skill gem.
Dude,
While
what?
I didn't unlock cluster grenades in this playthrough, its screen clearing potential definitely tempts the mercenary playthrough on launch. Anyways, transitioning to the passive tree.
I mean, those cluster grenades combined with the on-kill effect, I just don't see how the fuck that's not going to be broken. Like, I feel like mercenary guys are going to be like the most broken like mapping guys out of the. I don't think they'll be the most broken boss killing by any means or anything, but I think in terms of mapping, they're going to be kings.
And before I discuss the details, I must re-emphasize that this is an early access version of the game, so nothing is final.
Like, I might do a melee merc.
Whether this tree or build is optimal, given the blind nature of the run. So with that disclaimer out of the way, let's discuss what I did. Starting out, I passed through the projectile damage nodes on the right, ending with this notable. Then at first, I allocated Ricochet for more efficient percent increased projectile damage, but decided to respec out of it via the hooded one, and opted for increased area of effect and cooldown recovery rate on the left path instead. Afterwards, I attempted to rush the grenade cluster, which in hindsight...
Chat, he's not giving a guide, he's explaining why, he's explaining his thought process and why.
It was a mistake.
It's not a guide.
Evidenced by the difficulty I had with the Wrathbreaker fight. To defeat Wrathbreaker, I had to A, get good, but B, become hard to kill, which I did by allocating hard to kill. Moving...
What was this? 40% increase life. 1 point. Damn! Hard to kill's nuts! That's nuts! Makes your flask 40% better and you get 1.5 regen for 2 points? What the hell is that, bro? That note is actually crazy, bro. That one's crazy.
Moving onward, I unallocated hard to kill and continued my rush to the grenade cluster, which seemed effective at increasing both my clear and single target damage. This metagame of allocating extra recovery for difficult boss fights and extra clear speed for progression worked out well, but I imagine...
I'm gonna be recovery Andy. I'm gonna be, let me tell you that, I'm gonna be optimizing my defense and my recovery first, and then I'll be worrying about damage later. I'm gonna be going like, fuck damage, survivability, baby, king. Alright, I'm gonna be making my guy a comfy gaming character. I'm gonna be comfy as fuck, bro. The Siam recovery wheel, bro, let's go. I mean, we ain't got life, we're gonna have recovery at the wazoo. It's gonna be sick!
When respec and gold costs are much higher, frequent passive tree changes won't be possible.
I'm gonna do a reflect build, dude.
Back to, my damage felt lower than I would have liked. So in addition to crafting a new crossbow, I allocated Overwhelm for a ton of percent increased damage with two-handed weapons. The additional 20% increased stun buildup in combination with 30% stun buildup from Remorseless and 80% more stun buildup from Overpower support generally made staggering bosses with Flash Grenade easy. Finally, to round out the build, I passed through instant reload, acquiring 70% increased reload speed, which overall made the build feel much smoother. Now the interesting question is, where do you go next? There are only a handful of grenade passes available, but lots of projectile passes, affecting ailments, percent chance not to consume ammo, pierce, chain, reload speed, and more. Which intuitively makes me wonder if the next step is to always carry two crossbows and make more use of weapon set passive points. Speculating to late game, weapon swapping might be the most optimal strategy.
It's not a guide, chat.
Resists, monster types, and monster AI. Now a couple more conclusions
having a
before
combo.
we head to the Q&A. Path of Exile is in part a game about creativity and experimentation, which I believe they've enabled by dropping tons of uncut skill gems and lots of common currency items. In short, it felt good to just try things, and I hope future design decisions lean more into this freedom, and wherever possible, avoid unnecessary friction.
Just raw dogging.
Which leads me once more to mana. During my playthrough, at the end of some boss fights, I would run out of mana and mana fast charges, leaving me to auto-attack until I could cast my next ability. In conversation with Octavian, he said my mana problems were somewhat expected, since I was spamming high-cost grenade skills. He also recommended acquiring flasks with a gain charges per second mod. I ended up crafting a life flask, but was unable to craft a mana flask in the time I had, leading to a tedious...
Are you gonna if a fucking Giga gamer like Havoc's having mana issues, then yeah, you're probably gonna have mana issues, homie. Then again, maybe he's having mana issues because he's playing optimally with like multiple skills. Maybe the average gamer's not gonna have that issue.
Tail end of some boss fights. Now there are some considerations. Perhaps level 35 character is not high enough for level 36 zone, or perhaps I didn't itemize enough during progression, or perhaps my build was just weak. But extending that last thought further, if you have a good build with good damage, you don't need the recharge modifier. If your build is weak and your damage is low, going feels excessively punishing. So hear me out. What if the recharge modifier was implicit to all flasks? I believe that would alleviate some of the tedium experienced by low damage builds on extended boss fights.
Well, why wouldn't they just just buff a global mana regen at that rate to the characters as well, instead of adding it below onto the, like they could just buff the base mana regen rate. I don't know about that, bro. We need to play the game more before we do that.
The point in
we need to play the game more.
Key. Path of Exile is a game about items, and undergearing is a skill issue. Furthermore, there might be other forms of recovery available later on, such as Leech, which may solve the issue entirely. Alright, now for some rapid fire questions and answers. Was it fun? Yes. The farther I progressed, the more fun it became, especially as I understood
West. I want to hear about West. Imagine if you just like, yo, it was dog shit, bro. The game was like, the game was fucking dog shit, bro. He hates it.
Is a slow start worth it for a late game power spike? I think for many players it will be. Those cluster bombs looked crazy. As for leveling tips, if you're looking to progress quickly, you try to kill while moving as much as possible. But if you're looking for a smoother playthrough, then my general advice is to full clear zones and spend a reasonable amount of time upgrading and thinking about your gear, and also reading the in-game wiki and skill tooltips. This approach will take longer progress to endgame, but should result in a...
I'm gonna be a in-game wiki Andy. I'm gonna be a tooltip Andy, bro. Oh man, dude, we're gonna be reading so many tooltips. I'm gonna be doing full deep dive in the game. Okay, I'm gonna be fully immersed. I'm gonna be listening to all dialogue, watching every cutscene, a deep dive playthrough. Yeah, I will not be trying to like speed run. I'll be trying multiple skills. I'll be trying a bunch of stuff. We're gonna be doing lots of weird shit. Got to, bro. Got to. Now, second character, of course, there'll be second. It's completely different. We're not going to do that second time. But first character, well, I don't want to speedrun as well. Also, I don't want to make it, like, I don't want to ruin your guys' experience and just, like, obviously, because I'm a way better gamer than most of you guys, right? Let's not even get it twisted. If I was a speedrun, I'd be way ahead of everyone, and then I would spoil the game for you guys. Which, I don't want to do that to you guys, you know? I don't want to do that to you guys. So, you know, naturally, I'm going to deliberately kind of just go a bit slower. You know, I'll just in general go kind of slow in the zones for you guys. I'll slowly clear the zones out, you know. Maybe I might even do a scripted death or two. Who knows? You know, just to really let you guys get ahead. So that way you don't have to worry about me spoiling the whole game for you, bro. Because obviously I could do that if I felt like it.
And a greater understanding of how the game works. Does it zoom? I want to say yes, at least for the campaign. High damage explosions with lingering grenades definitely enable a clear while moving playstyle. That said, we don't really have a baseline for what zooming entails in the endgame. I noticed you would roll...
Dude, this moving combat though, what the hell?
Zones. Is it faster to roll than walk? Rolling and walking are the same speed. It's just a bad habit from another Exile-like game. Is it squishy?
Oh, deep what?
The Mercenary felt fairly tanky in comparison to previous playtests, most likely from access to armor gear and life regen on the tree.
Hades?
But again, you don't have a large baseline to judge from. How does reloading feel? To be frank, early on, reloading didn't feel so great, which is in part why I chose to play a grenade build. Having said that, it did feel manageable once I allocated increased reloading speed on the passive tree.
To be honest, do you know why mercs are going to be, I reckon they're going to be functionally overpowered? Like, practically overpowered. I'll tell you why right now. Because you could basically pre-invest and pre-reload, right? Before a fight starts. It means you can pre-set up a bunch of burst damage, right? Okay, what does that mean? It means you can basically get your effective DPS initially during a damage phase is going to be much higher than an average player. And then guess what? There's going to be fights. There's going to be plenty of boss fights and plenty of things where there's downtime. And then in the downtime, you're basically going reload. And it's basically when you're reloading, it's part of your DPS rotation. And it's balanced around the fact you got to reload. So Mercenary's going to do about the same damage as some guy who's got 100% uptime, right? Except That's including the reload time. Now, if you can just reload during dead time, then it's effectively like doing free damage. You're doing free damage. It's the same with any sort of cooldown-based build. Like, they may have lower DPS, but their burst damage is very high. And what the net result is you actually do far better on bosses. And it's massively the case when the bosses have limited uptime. And this seems like a build that's going to be all about burst damage, and it's going to be based... Your whole character is based around cooldowns, effectively. Well, based around reloading. So that just means you're going to have, like, all the hardest and most bosses in the game. It's going to be naturally good at beating those bosses, because every time you can't hit the boss, well, guess what? You just reload. And then it's like you're doing damage.
WASD versus click to move.
Right?
I would say both input styles are
bro,
playable, and ultimately it depends on the player and their preference. Personally, I prefer maintaining a consistent input style across all my builds, hence I see myself using WASD in all classes. Nonetheless, here's what I noticed while experimenting. For click to move, the primary benefit was that my keyboard hand was quite relaxed.
That rolls. Wait, look at that
Here's
roll.
what I noticed while experimenting. For click to move,
he should knock him, right? This is the coding that I'm talking about that's just going to get updated. That player should be more pushy. I'm sorry. He should push through that, right? He should put a single humanoid mob. He's rolling into that mob. That mob should get pushed. There's enough room for them both to get there. If there was a big fat cunt standing here, yeah, makes sense. Skinny little, like, okay, it's dude, look at this mob. I mean, that's a skinny mob. Okay, it's a body type B mob as well. I mean, you should be able to roll through that. You should be able to roll through. Not okay. I'm saying there should be weight, and you shouldn't have to roll through everything. I think if there should be a big fat unit there, you shouldn't have to be through it. But I'm saying this unit here, that you should be able to roll out at that situation. Okay. Yeah.
The primary benefit was that my keyboard hand was quite relaxed, whereas my mouse hand was very active. Precision micro movements while maximizing DPS uptime also felt harder to pull off, though this might just be a skill issue. For WASD, the increased APM moved to my keyboard hand. It also felt easier to micro, and overall just felt more natural. That said, my T and F keys in particular felt somewhat unusable, and our prime canvas were being rebound to a mouse button. It also raised a small concern that there won't be enough usable keybinds as we acquire more skills.
Dual input, bro. Where's it at? Where's it at, GGG? Dual input. Where's it at, bro? Where's the dual input at, bro?
Inventory management aside, I could see a world where for some builds, using a controller or a joystick is the superior gameplay option. If you're thinking about playing a Mercenary, then up next I have a couple of highlights showcasing the playstyle. Furthermore, I would also recommend checking out other gameplay reveals to see what excites you. That said, you can't just jump in blind. The developers have put a ton of effort into balance and improved accessibility. Anyways, our video soon. Thanks for watching, and as always,
but no dual input, bro.
Bye.
No dual input. I mean, no, going blind, bro. That's going blind. Just the guy who highlighted every fucking skill gem in the game, bro. Okay, he fucking speed ran highlighting over every single skill gem. Okay, recorded it and posted it. I mean, shit, bro. Going blind, dude. God damn, bro. God damn. I mean, I gotta watch it because he did it. I had to watch it. I had to. If no one recorded it, then I wouldn't have watched it. Oh shit, bro. Oh shit. The looting looks a bit weird. Oh, dude, I actually need to figure out loot key. Oh, I'll do it later. I need to figure out my loot key, though. Oh, he's surrounded, bro. He's getting word here. Attacked. He's getting gang attacked. Okay, I was gonna say banged, by the way, Chad, but then I was like, oh, let's not say gang bang. Let's keep it PG, but I mean, Jesus, you guys are interpreting it wrong. Like fucking weird boys exposing themselves in chat right now. Bro, I just want to log in, man. Oh, like watching this is just pissing me off because he's been playing. I want to play. I want to play. I want to log in, dude. Let me log in. Oh shit, it looks so good. Look how good it looks. Look at those monsters. I need to wast, bro. What's it gonna feel like wasting in this game, chat? Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. This is actually watching this is just giving me anxiety now. It just makes me want to play the game. I don't think I actually don't know if I want to watch it at this point. I was very interesting hearing his takes, but actually watching it, it's kind of like, what am I doing right now? I'm basically just getting cooked, right? That's what I'm doing right now, isn't it? At this point here in the video, I'm getting cooked. Before, this is informative. It's interesting to find out about the game. But by watching, it's like part of XL2 is my wife, and I'm just watching Havoc fuck my wife. You know, I'm standing outside the glass looking through, bro. Like, and there's some guy having fun, enjoying it. And I'm looking through, you know, and I'm just watching my, you know, that's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting cucked right now, aren't I? I mean, oh, okay, no, I can't watch it. Oh, dude, I want to play. I just want to play, bro.